Welcome to Neo Royal, House of Pricey Cardboard. On today's episode of Commander Gameplay, I went back into the vault to bring you another match. I will be joined by Hugo, Mathieu and Maxime. Before we talk about the decks, our little giveaway should be complete by now. Check out the pinned comment on this video or Twitter to see if you won the deck. I'm gonna need the winner's information for shipping. Thank you to everyone who participated and to our patrons who makes this project possible. Maxime will be playing Atraxa Praetors Voice. This is a classic EDH deck at this point, the good old Atraxa Superfriends, trying to play the best Planeswalkers in the game and ultimate them through Proliferate, Doubling Season or Deep Glow Skate. It's powerful, but as the format is speeding up, your control game needs to be on point for it to work. Mathieu will be playing Samut, Voice of Dissent. Once a Saskia deck, this list gave up black in exchange of Haste in the command zone, and it makes a huge difference. The deck is all about cheating powerful creatures into play like dragons and angels and win by combat. Hugo will be playing his Tymna the Weaver and Ikra Shidiqi the Usurper partner pair. This deck is all about Lifegain, combining all the old Orzhov synergies with the new Witherbloom cards from Strixhaven. Ikra Shidiqi can stack with lifelink to gain absurd amount of life really quickly. Finally, I will be playing Sidisi Brood Tyrant. This is one of my favorite decks and is all about Selfmill and Reanimation. Running 43 creatures, I want to create a zombie every time I mill cards and turn these zombies into my Sultai army, using them to reanimate cards like the Scarab God or take out my opponents with a Dead Baron and Finn the Fangbearer. Path of Discovery is absolutely disgusting in this list as well. Max gets to start this off and land drops a Godless Shrine. I land drop Dakmar Salvage, and Mathieu land drops a Forest, before casting a turn 1 Soul Ring. Hugo land drops Bountiful Promenade, and cast a Soul Ring as well. Max, facing 2 Soul Rings, land drops an Isolated Chapel, and cast Orzhov Signet, fully pushing his Orzhov Fixing. I land drop an Island, and Mathieu land drops another Forest. He casts 3 Visit, searching for a duel and passing while shuffling. Hugo land drops Indetta Triumph and casts Authority of the Council. He then casts Sword of the Animus and pass. Max land drops a Plains.
Je vais land drop une plane. Je vais pleurer.
Land drop Cry True combo.
He casts Crystalline Crawler, entering with 2 counters. At the end step, I cast an Entomb, putting Genesis to my grave. I then drop a Command Tower and cast Vizier of the Scorpion. Entering the battlefield, I amass 1. Mathieu then drops Spectator Seeding and cast Italy the Primal Storm.
Déjà Italie?
Hugo then drops Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth and cast his first commander, Tymna the Weaver. He then casts Sakura Tribe Elder.
Je suis stuck, Chris. J'ai une grosse affaire, don't get me wrong, mais lui, je suis stuck en esti.
Passe le temps.
Je pense que ça va être moins impactful.
C'est juste un feeling, ça.
Attends, le feeling.
What a feeling! Ba, 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 ba.
Max taps his Crawler to put a counter on it. He then casts his commander, Atraxa Praetors Voice.
It's not a goal, but a process. The process of creating the perfect Phyrexia.
After that, he casts Cultivate.
Et je vais cultivate pour me ramener.
Hey, there it is, esti, il est fixe, là.
Puis je vais land drop après, dans le fond, parce que j'ai pas land drop pour mon tour.
Il va chercher une plainte puis une swamp. Yes!
Il dit que c'est un deck Orzhov!
He gets a Forest and an Island, passing. I then drop a Phyrexian Tower and cast my commander as well, Sidisi Brood Tyrant.
So we have a word for enemies to mutilated for military services. Furnitures.
Entering the battlefield, I mill 3 cards, Sol Ring, Yavimaya Coast and Urborg, whiffing on creatures. I then go to combat, sending the Vizier to Max. Mathieu then drops a Brushland.
Avec du cactus pis tout. Oui.
Chiquiti, il y a des cactus!
He casts Gorkla, Terror of Kalsisma, followed by Elder Gargarath.
Ça rentre ton affaire, là. Hugo, il joue des affaires. Hugo, il joue Sakura pis Tymna.
Ouais, c'est ça!
Ça, là, les gars, là, vous vivez dans le passé. Ça, c'était le dernier tour, là, on est sur tour 4, là, c'est le temps de jouer des shit. On est tour 4 pour
Oui, on est au 4.
Ah ouais.
c'est
J'ai joué genre coupe de spell, couche.
For his combat step, he sends Italy to max. On attack, Italy triggers, exiling Belidros, Reclamation Sage, and Demonic Tutor, which is the complete opposite of a whiff.
Bye Max, il voulait pas me donner son
Non!
son Demonic Tutor. Non, fuck you, tu l'auras pas!
Mathieu casts all 3 spells, destroying the authority of the console with the Sage.
J'ai un fucking Belidros, ça, je suis un Demonic Tutor. Wow, c'est sûr que ça va bien finir cette histoire.
Ça peut juste bien finir. Au moins, t'avais un slow start, là.
Oui!
Yes!
He tutors and then untaps his land for 10 life. He casts Luca, Coppercoat Outcast, using the -2 to polymorph my Rex Sage, flipping into Hans Eriksson.
Puis je révèle Farseek, Smothering Tithe, Eric Intervention, Garrick Surprising, puis Boros Charm. Comment c'est mon package pour survivre ça?
Ouais, c'est ça. Fait que les chances qu'il y en ait une dans ses mains, c'est le temps de board wipe, là.
Ouais, c'est ça. Si vous en avez un, je le conseille. Bon, ben, sur ce petit tour-là.
Un docteur sur 4 joueurs recommande un board wipe en ce moment.
At the end step, Hugo sacrifices Steve for basic planes. Mathieu will make a pest at each player's upkeep.
Hey, c'est débile pour vrai. Que ça en fasse 4 par tour.
C'est pareil comme Coma, mais avec des moins grosses cochonneries qui heal à la place.
C'est vraiment moins pire que Coma, en fait.
Ouais. On peut taper tes laines, par exemple, si that's worth ça.
Non, mais les pestes, là, je veux dire.
Ah, je fais que c'est pas de la carte.
Non.
Les gros tas de marde!
Parce que les serpents à Coma, ils trigger Elemental Bond, puis juste ça, c'est dégueulasse.
C'est un peu nasty.
Going straight to combat, Tymna attacked Max. Hugo draws a card through Tymna in second main, and he then casts Gisela the Broken Blade, shipping the turn. Max taps the Crawler to add a mana, and casts Garruk, Apex Predator. He -3 Garruk to destroy Italy. At the end step, Max proliferates and pass. I start with combat, sending Sidisi to Hugo, who agreed not to block. I mill Eternal Witness, Ashiok Dreamrender, and the Scarab God. In second main, I cast World Shaper. Mathieu untaps with a 4th Pest. He -2 Luca again to polymorph the newest Pest, flipping into Iroas, God of Victory, Kelly's favorite card. He then casts Sylvan Library. Not quite done, Mathieu casts his commander, Samut, Voice of Dissent.
Samut's war was intensely personal. She faced enemies she once loved as friends and horrors she once revered as gods.
Before going to combat, Hugo casts Mortify on Gorkla. Mathieu then splits his attacks, sending Belidros to Garruk and Elder Gargarath to Max, Samut to Hugo, and Hans to me.
C'est un bon choix! C'était un bon choix. Fait que là, lui, il rentre en jeu, il mange Hans!
We realized after that because of Iroas, Hans would actually survive the encounter with the Scourge. I can block him with 2 creatures so I don't take 1 additional damage. On his turn, Hugo equips the sword on Tymna, and then trying to draw some answers, go to combat. He sends Gisela to Max and Tymna to me, searching his library for a basic. He then loses 2 to draw 2. In second main, he casts Elves of Deep Shadow, and then Twilight Prophet.
Voyons, Mathieu, c'est écrit sur ta carte, t'as juste à lire.
Oui, I'm so fucking sorry! Ouais, ben, je suis lettré,
Max land drops Interland Arbor. He casts Obnixilis Reignited, using the -3 to destroy the Scourge. He then heads into combat, dealing 4 to Mathieu. At the end step, Max proliferates his stuff and my amass token through the power of friendship. I untap and go to combat, sending Sidisi to Hugo, and World Shaper to Mathieu, who blocks with a pest. I mill Death Baron, Snow Swamp, and Rift Sweeper on the first trigger, and then Nyx Weaver, a Forest, and Oran Frostfang on the second. In second main, I sack the World Shaper to Phyrexian Tower, putting 4 lands from my graveyard on the battlefield. I then cast Muslim's Secrets, searching for Arumi of the Dead Tide. I almost go for Toxic Deluge here, but Mathieu's board doesn't seem so bad right now thanks to Maxime's removals. I cast Arumi and pass. Mathieu triggers Sylvan Library and keeps all 3, taking 8. He +1 Luca, exiling his top 3 cards. He then casts Izuri's Predation.
Izuri Prédation. Oh non.
Oh oui.
Uh-oh!
C'est lui le mauvais droit qui
Je
est
pense que c'est peut-être game. pour
Oh
vrai, les
oui!
gars.
Mathieu decimates our boards and keeps 7 of the beasts. He then pays 10 life to untap his lands, and casts Odric Lunarch Marshal. At the beginning of combat, Odric triggers and shares the Vigilance, Flying, and Double Strike. Mathieu is 5 damage short of taking out everyone, so he leaves Max at 5 life, knowing Superfriends is a slower strategy. Me and Hugo are taken out of the game. Max draws with Omnix Helix on his turn. He then casts Narset Transcendent and +1 Narset to check his top card. Finding a land, Max gives the game to Mathieu. Well played.
Ah, Drake, the things you do.
Ah yes. Odric a duré prédation. Mais ben, en fait, Odric avec Samut, c'est tellement capoté.
Ouais, c'est beaucoup de keywords.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Even though the contest is over, you can still leave me a comment. I read and answer to everyone and it really helps the channel to grow. Thank you to the patrons of the channel for directly supporting our content. Take care my friend and we'll see you very soon.